sometimes I'll browse forums where operating system developers like to share their hobby projects or generally discuss hobbyist operating systems that they've seen recently or that they've worked on. And one of the most popular operating systems that I've seen on the Reddit r/os dev subreddit page is one called RetrOS 32. RetrOS 32. I start pronouncing it as RetrOS 32, but then I switched to RetrOS 32 midway through the video. So I decided to check it out because I really didn't know anything about this going in. I'd seen basically just the cover pictures and I thought it looked really interesting. Little did I know this operating system had way more than actually initially meets the eye. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So here we are in my terminal, and you may be asking, why are we in the terminal rather than in Vert Manager? Why are we not in Vert Manager or VirtualBox? And the reason for that is, well, the official way on the GitHub to run this operating system is actually just directly using QEMU. So you see I am in the directory with the disk image for RetrOS, so you just run it directly with QEMU, like this. Alright, so I don't know if you could tell, but that was basically instantaneous. That was an extremely fast boot. And it says, welcome to the RetrOS 32 bootloader. It loaded the kernel. Alright, let's choose a resolution. I think we'll put it on 3. Oh my goodness, would you look at that? What an absolute beauty. Oh, and it has these old style windows, yep. Alright, so according to the GitHub page, there's actually no real difference between the guest and admin accounts. However, the password for admin is just admin, so I guess I'll type that in. And let's click OK here. This is a little bit small. I do wish I could make it bigger, but I suppose that's kind of my fault for choosing the biggest resolution. Let's see what programs it has. Right, so terminal, we already have this, right? And clock, we also already have that. So let's see, what can we do? What commands are there here? So help, file system, so new, list, view file. Oh, and look at that. So the actual command line itself, where you type in commands, is just always at the bottom. It doesn't follow like the most recently typed command. It just always appears on the bottom when you type it. I wonder, what is the memory information? Okay, so wow, yeah, look, this operating system is running with just 16 megabytes of memory. This is pretty faithful. Older operating systems used very little memory, so this is pretty nice. If config, that does seem to imply there's some kind of network functionality. Can I ping something? I guess I can't really ping anything, okay. To say, this is a very nice kernel panic screen. It looks really cool. It's like the old style Windows blue screen. I guess we can't really use the network, but that's alright. I don't mind that. I have to say, this is a very cool start menu layout. I'm a big fan of start menus that are at the top, or just in general these like window manager / desktop menus that are at the top. I think it's very cool. Personally I use DWM on Linux with the top bar, with the bar at the top, and having these 3 sections where start is just your programs, RetrOS is like actual operating system control stuff, and help is I wonder, is there actually some kind of documentation in here? Okay, about. So this is like, I forgot what the name of the program is, but it's like the Windows one that sort of shows you the icon of the operating system and like some basic system information. If you haven't noticed, I'm kind of having to click a few times to close these windows. Like, look at this. So if I go to the clock, I am clicking here. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, I was clicking that whole time, but it didn't close until the last one. Welcome to the RetrOS 32 kernel README. Bugs, yes, there are a lot. Please report them to the GitHub page. And here's one of the features I really wanted to investigate about this operating system. The C compiler is located in bin/cc. The compiler can be used to compile C programs. Now, that kind of brings me on to the next point, and a bit of a meta point about the operating system exploration series that I have here on my channel. So I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the channel OS First Timer. It's actually a very popular channel, sort of like, I liked watching them kind of back in the day. I don't know if they really even make videos still, but they used to do a lot of these operating system explorations from a kind of blind point of view. And one thing that they had on their series, on the OS exploration series, was a series of tasks that you would have to complete for every single operating system. But for them it was very simple stuff, like open a file, write a file to the disk, like modify the file, reboot the computer, this kind of thing. I was thinking that I should also introduce a series of tasks that I should complete for every operating system I boot. So what I came up with is the Tyramid YouTube channel operating system task list. Number 1, boot up. Number 2, connect to the internet. Number 3, get a graphical system running. Number 4, get a text editor running. Number 5, program FizzBuzz, compile and run it. Number 6, run a game. Number 7, browse the internet. Number 8, explore what makes it special. And number 9, destroy the sucker. And actually we can already cross a few off of the list here for this one. We've already booted up. Graphical system, we already have that running. So the next thing we really should try doing is to get a text editor up and going. Editor, alright. Okay, let's create a file. New file, FizzBuzz, since that's what we're going to need to do. There's FizzBuzzC.c, which I can't help but feel is not exactly what I wanted to call it. What we can say is that we have got a text editor running. The next step is to just, well, it's just to code up FizzBuzz. That's pretty simple. Let's try it. See, I can't really insert certain characters for some reason. Like when I press Shift 3, see, that should be a hashtag, but it's actually just some kind of empty character. It seems the keys have been remapped to something else. So let me just go experimenting. See, in the help menu, it doesn't say anything special about these characters. It doesn't even really say how they're remapped. That's quite challenging. I actually might not be able to do this. That would be really disappointing. I hope I can. This is actually an example program that comes with the operating system. This is not FizzBuzz. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I'll be able to get FizzBuzz running. Have no real way to copy paste anything, so it's not even like I could copy the characters I need into this file. Also, just a bit of an interface thing I noticed in the help menu. I can tell this used to be press any key to exit help, but now the developer changed it to be only Q, so it's press any Q to exit help. I don't know about you guys, I only have one Q key on my keyboard. Oh, okay, actually it seems like I can enter quotes by typing the character that will normally be the @ symbol. Oh, the program has crashed. Alright, I don't know what I did there, but you know what? I think I can try working with this. If I have that quote, then I reckon I can try making FizzBuzz. Oh, actually the next difficulty will be to figure out how to enter curly braces, because it really doesn't want to let me do that for some reason as well. You know, I'm so desperate to try to get this working that I've even been trying to enter the C trigraphs. You know, I don't even know if many of you are aware of that feature in C. You really have to like try programming in C to try to get familiar with it to even know that those exist. But yeah, I've been trying to use those. I can't even enter the characters for those, even though ostensibly, you know, they're meant for reduced character set style situations. I can't even like find out how to enter a question mark. No, it's not in the readme either, although we find out, you know, that gracefully a loopback interface is also supported. I literally can't enter the characters I need to program FizzBuzz, much less compile it. I do have 2 other pre-made programs here, so maybe I can just try compile these and run them. And you know what, if I can compile both of these programs and run them, then I will give it half a point, even if, you know, half the task is unfortunately failed. So let's try cc. Is it /bin/cc? What? The C compiler is located in /bin/cc. exec bin/cc.o try.c. Wrong number of arguments in function call. So on 10 we have printf, which, I don't know, that seems to take a correct number of arguments. I think it's more so just that it's not, you know, it's maybe not importing the headers. Okay, I wonder, can it compile /bin/cc.o? Can it compile the other program called add.c? Oh wow, okay. Successfully compiled to a.out. Let's try this. exec a.out. Oh, so this program actually illustrates like data structures and stuff. So clearly this is a reasonably capable compiler. It can actually implement custom, you know, data formats specified by the user, and this program actually does work. So you know what? Even though the previous program doesn't work, I'm sufficiently impressed with this compiler that, you know what, for 0.5 on the agenda, we'll give it half a point. We'll give it 1/2 a point. And so with that, we can move on to number 6, run a game. What games do you have here? Okay, you have Wolfenstein. What's Cube? Is Cube a game? Oh, it's just like a Cube rendering demo. Let's try Wolfenstein. I wonder, will this actually work? Wolfstein? Is this not Wolfenstein? I don't really seem to be able to do much with. Oh, okay. So this is not the real Wolfenstein, but it's a sort of ray casting system. As you can see, I can move around in this very simple 3D environment. Well, faux 3D environment, and oh, look at that nasty fisheye effect. Yeah, you gotta do some cosine magic to fix that. Honestly, this is a decent, rudimentary, but not a bad raycasting thing. Is this a game? I mean, there's not really any gameplay. Like, there's not a goal, there's not an objective, but I'm willing to classify game extra loosely just for the sake of giving this operating system a bit of a boost in the points, because unfortunately it hasn't been looking too good so far, right? We'll give it the point for run a game. Okay, so of course number 7 on the agenda would be browse the internet, but yeah, that's not happening. So we'll just skip to number 8. Explore what makes it special. So what, in my opinion, makes this operating system special? Well, it's just... Okay, I mean, I didn't want to say it like that, but that is one thing that certainly does make it special in a sense. Just maybe not the right kind of special. But I will say something more serious. This is a from-the-ground-up operating system as I understand it, so it is in the same vein as Untitled operating system and Osaka OS, which we have already explored here. So it's not like a clone or a derivative version of any other operating system. It is completely from the ground up. It has a pretty simplistic but reasonably usable set of tools. I mean, even though the editor can't really be used for programming, as you can see, like I had to reset the system and the file is still here, so it clearly is usable for reading and writing files. It has its own little task manager. Of course, another really cool thing about it is that it runs on only 16 megabytes of memory or 15 megabytes of memory. That's really nice. The terminal, again, seems to be implemented from scratch. One thing I like is at the very top is just a bunch of information about the operating system, which is really good if you're trying to just explore it like I am, a bit of a hobbyist OS enthusiast who doesn't really want to go too far in searching for where the documentation is. That's pretty good. That makes it nice. Overall, I think this is a very cool operating system. But you know what we have left to do? We gotta destroy this sucker. So let's see what we have available at our disposal. I'm thinking of doing this by destroying the file system, because very clearly there's not going to be any viruses we can install for this OS, since I don't really think there's a wealth of viruses going around for RetrOS 32. We are going to have to go with the old reliable way of just deleting a bunch of system files until something goes wrong. Okay, what does admin do? Admin. Okay, that's for some kind of user management. Fdisk. Can I just format the disk to destroy it? No, that's more like fdisk, like system information. That's like if you ran fdisk-l or something. Can I really do anything here? Can I at least manage the files with like a right click or something? I don't know if you can tell. I'm trying to right click it. Nothing's really happening. Oh look, it even has its own little NeoFetch clone, which is good, but unfortunately it doesn't really get us any closer to destroying it. So, I wonder, what will happen if I kill process 1? Did anything even happen? No, I think it's like resistant or something. Okay, let's try kill process 2. Well, yeah, that certainly did something. I am moving my mouse, I'm pressing keys and stuff, but it's not doing anything. Let's try to reset the system and see if that did anything permanent. So of course that didn't really do anything permanent. I didn't really expect it to, but still, I'm a bit disappointed that I can't destroy the system, but obviously, you can't fault a hobby OS developer for not prioritizing system destruction as one of the features, even if it would be really fun and exciting. Unfortunately, for the 9th criterion, I do have to give it a 0 out of 1. But still, either way, I actually had a really fun time exploring this operating system, and I think you should explore it too. So I suppose that's it for the actual exploration. But how did this operating system do in the ranking? Well, it got 5.5 out of 9, as you see on this little scorecard that I created based on the task list. The link to it will be in the description as always. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, maybe subscribe to my channel, and yeah, that's it.